Martin Luther King is not the only one that needs to be exposed. We need to talk about Harriet Tubman and the vital role that she played, because I don't think y'all realize that gap that we're missing. Harriet Tubman helped cover that up. Let me break this shit down to y'all. So first of all, if y'all don't know, Harriet Tubman was not her name. And y'all, I keep telling y'all, America is a stage. These people are playing characters. Everybody, for some odd reason, has to change their name. So, and if you don't know, her real name was Arminta Ross. And I believe that's a Hebrew name. So she had to be kidnapped and brainwashed. But anyways, it says that during the Civil War, she served the U.S. Army as a spy, a scout, and a cook. The key word is she served the U.S. Army as a spy, a scout, a nurse, and a cook. And ironically, she's supposed to have led multiple slaves to freedom. But she worked for the U.S. How does that make sense? If we are the Aboriginal people of this land and she worked for the U.S., she was not working for us, because we were not united. We weren't citizens. Do you remember the United States were the 13 colonies that were over there that was trying to infiltrate into our land? We were not a part of their government. They called us La Louisiana. The Louisiana Purchase. Y'all come on now. And she worked with David Hunter, who was a general for the Union. And the Union was supposed to be black people. Why would black people have a white man as a general when we just went through and escaped from slavery? That does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. Right? And so it sounds like she might have led him to us. And the people who she was rescuing, which more than likely were black men, she was trapping into their system. The Union was a trap for black people. She led the Union to black armies using the same tunnel systems that they use to today. Look. These are the same tunnel systems that they're using to traffic the kids. These are the same tunnel systems where people are coming up missing. Ironically, these are the same tunnel systems that she used to free us. Y'all, that's a red fucking flag. That's a red flag. Let me tell you how they got to us. She used these tunnel systems, and they were able to pop up in the heart of our cities. That's what happened. It was used as the face, so that way we would think that they were on our side. But it's no different from the Democratic and the Democratic and the Republic. They're both on the same team, but pretending to be on separate teams. So that's the same thing with the Union and the Confederate. They were the same people, because that's the United States. We weren't a part of the United States. Understand that. And so any black people that were a part of the United States were kidnapped. They were kidnapped. They were prisoners of war, because the Civil War was being fought between the Aboriginal people, or the original people, in the United States. I remember I said that she was used and she was trapping black people. Y'all remember when those pandemics of syphilis and things were being implemented into our men? How do you think that happened? She helped. She was a nurse. She telling y'all all of that. She kidnapped them, and she kidnapped them and put them into their system to where they were experimented on, and they were put into these prisons. And so when we go into these reconstruction eras to where they are reconstructing these buildings, they use black prisoners for that. Y'all. Okay. And then let me tell you something else. Who was she being used by? Y'all, she was being used by Lincoln. Let me tell you, President Lincoln. She purchased a house from William Henry, who was appointed Secretary of State by Abraham Lincoln. How the fuck did a black woman who escaped slavery, who apparently helped all these niggas escape slavery, get a house from the president? Or get a house from the president's secretary? Make that make sense. They don't fuck with us. Okay. William was supposed to work for the Union of Black People as well. But he ironically helped play a role in the purchase of Alaska. And I keep, people be forgetting that we are original of this land. So just like how we were here, we were there. There's original Black Alaskans too. Let me show you. So he was not for us. He just wanted our land. And Lincoln was just like Obama. They used him as a face. Y'all, he was black. Here he go with his real mama. This is a fake picture. This is who he really is. This is a black man. Come on. And so he got assassinated. Why? Because he was probably finna expose the truth. Y'all know Lincoln got murdered in Ford's Theater. Ford's Theater used to be a black church that got burnt down in the 1800s. And ironically, Ford's Theater sold the chair that he got assassinated in to Henry Ford, who ironically is the car brand. And y'all know that Henry Ford is also the same man who came up with 9 to 5, the 9 to 5 workday. Y'all, Lincoln was used to trap black people into their system. The same system that they used Martin Luther King to trap us into by saying he wanted us to integrate whole time we had our own shit. It's the same way they did. They used Lincoln as the same way. They made Lincoln seem like he was freeing all the people that they have been fucking over, that they have been kidnapping and doing all this shit. It wasn't us. Or some of us. Everybody wasn't captured. So they made him seem like he was just this saint. Whole time, his mama was a black woman who was kidnapped. 9 times out of 10, she was taken advantage of. And Lincoln was used to continue the bloodline. Because, you know, they all are related. So his daddy, he was used and he was brainwashed. So they could get us on their side. Come on, y'all. All of this shit is connected. I'm telling y'all, they needed us in their cities. They needed us in their workplaces to be the consumers and the workers. They needed us. We didn't need them.